Well. Right back at you. Another one. A damn another one. Shout out to my brother I Am. Shout out to Miss Lovely. If you in Stockton, you need to get your hair did. You need to go see her. She does an amazing job. She's awesome. Just tell her Big Truck sent you. I'll go on ahead and I'll leave her Instagram right in the description box. So you in the Stockton area, you want to get your hair did, you in the Bay Area, you in somewhere in Northern California, in the universe, hit her up. Hit her up in her DMs. Tell her you want to get your hair did. Tell her Big Truck sent you. Again, beautiful woman, does an amazing job. And yeah, you will not be you will be satisfied. You will not be disappointed. I tell you that. If I had hair, I will let her do my hair. So, with that being said, my brother I Am sent me something. I was actually looking for this video. So I'm kind of glad he sent it. We're going to break some things down. You know, my man, Professor Greff, I've been studying with him for some time, and the brother's very knowledge. So we're going to break this thing down with Brother Cannon. We're going to have an adult conversation, a locker room conversation. Grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work.
Semitic people. And there's a list of Semitic people, and anyone can do this right now. You can look up who are the Semitic people, what are the Semitic languages.
Right.
Has absolutely nothing to do with any white people.
Right.
Fact. Not at all. So in order for me to be anti-Semitic, I'd have to be anti-black man, anti-black woman, anti-black people, anti-Africa, anti-all of the people.
Because the Semitic people
are black people.
So y'all get that clarity. We're going to say that again.
Now,
the Semitic people are black people.
So I cannot be anti-Semitic. Now, what do they really use the phrase anti-Semitic to do? That's the thing.
To divide us.
Exactly.
Right.
So they put this.
And when we talk about division, okay, and I said this before, black is the most dominant race on the planet. So in order to destroy the black man, they use the black woman. Black woman is easier to manipulate. That's why they go to the woman first. That's why they use the woman first. All right? So on top of that, here comes this great division. We don't want to keep strong black household families. Because if we keep strong black household families, they're going to produce those same roots within their children. You feel what I'm talking about? So we have to understand how this whole thing is going, is moving. The entertainment industry, okay, the sports industry. Look at the things that are happening. Now what's coming up in conversation, you know, allegedly, you got certain players and certain coaches in this betting. You see? Why is that? Bet.
This title on you anti-Semitic, and then they neutralize you.
Right.
Separated me from the group.
Right.
Say he's a Jew hater. He hate white people. He hate gay people. He hate all white people with freckles and red hair, whatever.
Right.
And they put that on me, which I never said these things.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I just ran down the history given to me by my elders. And anybody could read this for themselves. Right. So it ain't a Professor Griff hating people thing.
Right.
Now, closer to what happened with the Public Enemy thing, the brother by the name of James Baum, one of the X1Ws in the group, gave me some information because he was in touch with the research department of the Nation of Islam in Boston.
Right.
Got the information, and we talk about the secret relationship between blacks and Jews.
Right.
It was a manual. It wasn't even a book then.
Right. Wow.
I got it. I went to Kinko's so I can get me a copy.
Right.
The brother recognized me. Oh, you that dude from Public Enemy, man.
Right.
For real. I said, yeah, bro, I got to get to this thing because I was the road manager, so I was responsible for everything.
Right.
I gave it to him. The brother gave me a copy, but he made himself a copy also.
Yeah.
So that's a violation, but cool, bro.
But
Whoever you are.
He wanted some information.
He wanted some information.
He was hungry. He was thirsty.
Exactly. Okay. When I seen the brother again, dude gave me a box of them. And I gave James back his. So I read it. So now the spokespeople for the group, me and Chuck, we did all the interviews.
Right.
We sat down. We went to DC. We were doing the interview that day, and it wasn't even my interview.
Right.
Chuck's interview, he didn't want to do it.
Right.
So I sat down with him. Now, mind you, I'm the Minister of Information.
Right.
I got 2 suitcases now.
Right.
I used to carry with 2 suitcases full of books.
Right. Right.
And so I laid them all out on the table. So when I went into the interview, I was ready.
Right.
First question he asked is
Just like this, how we just got it laid out.
Exactly. Who controls the music industry? Well, what more am I supposed to say? You understand? I laid out the names, people, the organizations they belong to.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
My man talking about who controls the music industry. There you have it. We all know that. And some, ask me, how do I feel about Jews? How do I feel about Jewish people? And I tell them I love them. Again, I can only speak from my perspective. I can only speak from my experience. A lot of my teammates are Jewish. We take the field of battle and play this game of football together. Okay? That's what we do. After that, we share meals together. We talk shit. We shoot the breeze. The only color that we have a problem with is green when it comes to our money, because we like getting paid. Okay? When it comes to their religion, I respect it. I know who they are. They know who I am. We respect each other's religion. Okay? We respect each other's boundaries. But when it comes time to playing this game called football, that's my brother. That's my football brother. That's my football family. We're going to go hard in the paint. We're going to pick each other up. Again, I can only speak from my perspective, my experience. When it comes to a person's religion, when it comes to a person's background, I don't disrespect that. I don't get in the way with that. I know who I am, and I know whose I am. I embrace that, but I treat everyone else the same. All right? Bet.
I laid it out. Now, mind you, this is not coming from Professor Griffith. I wasn't hating nobody that day.
And was it in that statement? Was it just like was it white people, Jewish people, white supremacy? Like was it more just like you just kind of you weren't saying a hateful statement. You were just saying this is who controls it.
I laid out the names.
Right. Oh, so you specifically said people's names.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
People's names.
At that time, because this was what, 80, 89, 90?
Yeah, about 80, 89, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you just said people's names. And
I laid it out, and I
Right.
showed them the books.
Right.
And I looked it up and showed it to them. This paragraph says this. These people control film industry, TV.
Right.
Music industry.
And as we know right now,
these are the players.
when we talk about media, there's 6 major corporations that control
Exactly.
all of media.
Exactly.
This is beyond the music industry. And this is, you were laying that construct down back then and naming names, calling them to the
Exactly,
table.
because-
But
right.
even as we speak, we sit right here today, there's 6 major corporations that control everything that is delivered to you as we speak.
Exactly. So
before individuals start running their mouth and putting their mouth on things, you better be clear and have an understanding of who you putting your mouth on. Because you can put your mouth on the wrong person and the shit will backfire and show up at your front door. When you know how people move, you move accordingly. And moving accordingly doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Okay? You moving accordingly, but at the same time, you not getting caught up in anything as well. You see? Sometimes moving strategically is the best thing to do. Strategically and quietly. And this game called life is chess, not checkers. And I've learned to move strategically and quietly. Just because I know what I know don't mean I'm quick to go over the internet and go fucking do a damn tell-all tour. Some information you want to keep to yourself. Now, I was going to do this broadcast. I was going to go live later on this evening, but I couldn't wait any longer. I had to, it's one of them things where I had to go in. I had to get it out. I took time from work to go live stream this topic because I felt that individuals should know. I felt that when it comes to secrets, the secrets should be told. The game is to be told, not sold. Let's get it. They say, man, you streaming in the morning. It's like 11 something and you streaming. Got to get that word out somehow. Got to get that truth out somehow. But it's not what you say, it's how you say what you say.
the 6 people can sit in this room and decide everything that we experience as far as entertainment. We watching the movies, reading the magazines. 6 people.
Right.
I laid that out. It wasn't a Jewish conversation.
Right.
It was about the music industry. The first 20 minutes of the conversation, we was laughing, joking, dapping each other up,
Right.
talking.
Right.
His girlfriend walked in. We were talking about David Mills now, who
Right.
dropped dead on a movie set.
Right.
His girlfriend walks in, and his girlfriend's white and Jewish. Well, I'm from Roseville, Long Island. We don't have no experience with white people like that. So I'm like,
Except for Howard Stern.
exactly right. Exactly. So when she came and sat down, the complexion of the conversation changed. It became more, and I'm like, you
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A couple of times he even pressed the pause button on the cassette.
Yeah,
recorder.
that privilege starts speaking and
Right. So now he had to change his tone because
Right.
now the white Jewish girlfriend is sitting next to him.
Right.
And she's getting offended
Right.
by me calling out the Cohens and the Moskowitz and the blacks and the,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, but still no hatred involved. I'm just laying the history
Yeah,
out.
we're just speaking facts.
But that's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When an individual starts spitting facts on things, others do get offended. Why they get offended? Because what that other person is saying is the truth. And it goes back to that exact thing. A large number of individuals do not want to hear the truth. They do not like it when somebody else knows the truth and they share. And they speak their truth. Because that same individual that is speaking a truth, that individual is right. You see, that individual is right. For those chiming in, put a number 1 in the chat so I know you here. You know, thank you, my boy Dale, One Love King, and anybody and everybody else tapping in, put a number 1 in the chat. When certain individuals from the other side and you sit next to them and you start sharing your truth, they're going to get offended. They're going to look at you a certain way. And this is why I always tell my brothers and sisters, you better know who you are and whose you are in the season of your life and embrace that and don't forget it. You sitting out there warring against, having war against your own skin color, you better think twice. Sit down and open up your mind and recognize you need to start having war with some individuals that's causing division. You having war against the wrong people while the other side is sitting back. We ain't got to kill them. We just let them kill themselves. They doing a good enough job of that. And after it's all said and done, look how much damage has been done. Instead of saying, wait a minute, let's find a solution. Instead of keeping this division, black men on black men, black women on black women, black men on black women on black men. Instead of this hatred and division, let's find a solution. Would it be safe to say that a large number of black men and women are easier to brainwash than any other race? Something to think about.
When I finished the interview, he admitted and said to himself, you know something, this is the kind of stuff that can get you in a lot of trouble. And I'm like, now keep in mind now, I'm in my 20s.
Just like these conversations.
No, exactly. Exactly.
But fearless is. So, and you just saying what you're saying. You speaking facts.
Exactly.
There's no reason to be scared of anything when you're speaking the truth.
So I left that.
But when the other side has been brainwashing individuals and lying to them for so long, and then when you do wake up, when you do see the trees from the forest, when you do connect the dots and say, wait a minute, we are the real Hebrews. Wait a minute, the Torah speaks of us. Wait a minute, his name is not Jesus. His name is Yahweh. Some say Yahshua HaMashiach, the Messiah. Whoa. Wait a minute, we're not supposed to be partaking in these holidays and what they represent. And if we partake in them, the type of demons that we're conjuring up. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me when it comes to tithing, it's not about money, but it's about food and your time? Ding. You mean to tell me the day of service is not on Sundays? It's on Shabbat Saturdays? That's our holy day of rest? Hold up. It's not making sense here. But then it causes you to delve deep. It causes you to tap in. And the more that you tap in, you will discover that you've been lied to.
Interview with what you just said with that.
Right.
And he faxed it to the Village Voice in New York.
Right.
Front page, blew up. It went out. And it's like, Professor Griff, anti-Semitic, blah, 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 whatever. And when I first told Chuck, he said, so what? You told the truth. The truth is the truth.
Right.
Everybody's gung-ho. Yeah, Griff dapping me
just
up.
Just what we saying right here.
Hoisting me up on their shoulders.
Yeah.
A week or two later, I'm the boogeyman. I'm the bad man. I'm the this, that, and the other.
Griff,
I'm
we got to
breaking the-
separate ourselves.
Exactly. And I didn't understand it from someone. Now, this is the painful part. From someone I grew up with, man, since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Right. Right.
How do you do that?
Right.
How do you sit in a room and have one of your friends tell you who you fought with, who you ate with, broke bread with?
Right.
You know, how do you do it? Then a group of brothers that I came up with, the S1Ws, who, you know, we did everything together.
Fact.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Public Enemy thing was Chuck and Flav, who was actually signed. Then it was me and Terminator, the Public Enemy Live thing.
Right.
Constitutes Public Enemy. I brought the S1Ws.
Right. Right.
So when you talk about the money situation, it was Chuck and Flav, of course, then me and Terminator, and then check this out.
Right.
Out of my little money, I cut it up and paid them.
Wow. So it wasn't about the bread at all.
It wasn't about the bread at all because Chuck said, 2 years in, we out. We said, cool, let's shake the industry up and get out.
Yeah, y'all wasn't looking for. And that's the thing what people got to understand too, especially back then. Hip hop wasn't about money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the only place where you actually could make money because the hands that we
had it
speaking
on
of,
lock.
they had it on lock. It
Exactly.
was slavery. Let's just keep it what it was. But live is where you could make money.
And
But again, the hip hop industry back then, you had that conscious rap. The music back then was soulful. When you had R&B, you had true R&B. You had real singers. When it came to hip hop, you had real rappers. Back then, if your lyrics wasn't tight, you ain't right. Okay? And when it came to singing, you better bring some heat behind those vocals. We didn't start noticing a shift within the hip hop industry and the R&B industry. I would say at the latest 03, we started noticing a shift in the music industry. Okay? Now you had these labels like it now. If you got talent, if you got raw talent, and you ain't trying to sell out, you get shelved. But if you want to be a musical puppet, you do what we tell you to do. It's just like a puppet with strings. You're the puppet. The label's the strings. They controlling your every move. They controlling what you do and say. And you better do it. You have no choice. You can't say no. And that's why you have a lot of artists now going their own way. You see? Because you have people like Michael Jackson. You have people like Prince. People like Master P. Tory Lanez. Teaching you this game. How to do it yourself as an artist. Which, at the end of the day, was hurting a lot of record labels.
That's right.
And that's from the blues days all the way to today.
Exactly.
Where you seeing all these cats with all these diamonds and all that, that's because they getting 50,000 a night.
Exactly.
That's because, and back then, it was 1,000 a night, maybe.
Thank you. And we were on a van driving ourselves.
Right, and it's 20 of y'all.
Right.
Splitting up $1,000 a night.
Exactly. So that's the real of it. And the whole idea of separating myself from these cats prematurely that we came up. Now let's keep the time.
Let me also times this. Back in the days, it was the love. For the love of music. For the love of hip hop. For the love of R&B. When you had artists, male and female artists, doing it for the love, you felt it. If it was an R&B song, you felt it in every verse. If it was hip hop, you felt it in every lyric. You felt that shit.
Timeline of mine.
Yeah.
80 into 86, 87, the album's out.
Right.
All right, so 89 would have been it. That's
Right.
it. We done.
Done. Because y'all was only set out to do Public Enemy for 2 years.
That's it.
Right.
So I was on time and I was on point.
You was right there where it
I
was
called
supposed
the
to
players out. I shook the
be. It's
industry up.
divinity. The
But
universe.
now I'm the bad man.
Yeah.
Now I'm hated now because I told the truth.
Right.
How do you walk around with that in your chest, Nick? How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you walk around with now, but because I'm the bad guy in the group, I messed it up for everyone, so to speak. I'm like, whoa.
Right.
This is not what we discussed in my mom's basement, in Miss Boxley's basement in the
Right.
garage
Right.
at 510 South Franklin. This is not what we discussed. We was gonna get in, shake it up, and we out. And so now I'm here. Well, we didn't want to shake it up that bad. I'm like, come
Right.
on, bruh.
Right.
Oh, so
And it
hold
was
up.
just a simple
It
conversation.
was a simple conversation. Like,
But look at how a simple conversation turned into something. I plan on shaking up the social media world, especially with the information that I have and what I know. But I learned how to do it. I love speaking in riddles because you have some intelligent men and women out there. Y'all will get it. That's my goal. And that's what I will do. I will shake it up. When it comes to relationships, I'm going to hit you with some shit that's going to make your toenails curl. When it comes to this entertainment industry, I'm going to hit you with some shit that's going to make your toenails curl. I'm going to make you want to grow a damn Jerry curl. Because I'm going to hit you with facts. I'm not going to hit you, well, my thoughts. I'm not going to hit you with, well, I was just in my thoughts and I wanted to share. Fuck that. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard. Where it's going to hold you accountable in that area. Or if you have a self-esteem issue, we're going to cure that real quick. But when it comes to this reality and it comes to this real world, real things, real people. So many individuals are used to dealing with fake people. It's pathetic. How the fuck you gonna be seeing someone on and off for 2 to 3 years and you seeing the same damn individual more on than off and friend zone someone that leans in with good intentions to show that they like you. But if you off and on with a person for 3 years, what the fuck does that say about you as a person, as a human being? But yet all up on social media, taking fucking selfies, using fucking filters. Okay. But that same effect, we use that even to the entertainment industry. How do you call yourself a real artist, a real rap artist, but your ass can't even freestyle to save your life? Because a true MC will be able to freestyle right off the dome. A true singer should be able to sing something. That's a true artist. You see? That's just a walkthrough, a brief walkthrough of the flavor that I'm bringing.
like we're having right now, bro.
And then, you know what, and because this is one of the reasons why I feel honored to speak with you, but I feel like it's so prevalent and so on time, is because what we're dealing with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan being silenced on Facebook and other platforms.
Right. Neutralized.
Neutralized.
Right.
Which COINTELPRO is still active to
Exactly.
this day. And COINTELPRO, for the young people that don't know, the counterintelligence program. And when you say counter, it's like because we have so much intelligence and information, they want to counter that by destroying us,
Exactly.
by neutralizing us, by
Right.
silencing us. So what we're speaking of today, because they attempted to silence Minister Farrakhan right now, which is COINTELPRO actions and activations, and they did the exact same thing to you. Why? And this is just a question that I have, and even coming from that aspect of if the true children of Israel, if we're speaking of the Jewish community, if we're speaking of the Abrahamic faiths that Islam comes from, that Judaism comes from, that Christianity comes from, all comes from Abraham. And we are all speaking of brotherhood and unity. Why is this division? Why is it such a problem? Why is there so much fear, specifically in the black community, in the Jewish community? And I'm kind of, this is a leading question, which I want to get to, but why is it such a problem to speak the truth?
I think it's a problem it became a problem for us because of the propaganda machine. But it's more of a problem for them.
Right.
Because they've taken our birthright.
Right.
Not only that, not only taking our birthright, but the lie, in my opinion, the lie that a large number of blacks have been sold, have been told about their own identity. Okay? And that's what we say, black is the most dominant race on the planet. They know that. We may not know that. Because if we did know that, half the shit that we doing wouldn't even be doing. Half the shit we say to each other wouldn't even need to be saying. Hear me out. Because when it comes down to it, and you expose others for the lies that they told, once you've discovered the truth about your birthright, about who you are, about your lineage, most have a problem with that. Remember, if you trace it back, blacks wasn't allowed to read. The moment blacks begin to read, then they begin to identify and discover who they are, who they were. Okay.
Right. They don't want us to be them.
Not deeper than that. They don't want us to be us. They don't want you wrapping your head. They don't want.
Wow.
Nah, they don't. Now because you recognize.
Right.
And now they identified you. Oh man, Nick knows.
Right.
Who he is, and
he knows he's a Hebrew Jew. He know who he is and who he is in the season of his life. We can't come at him like we come at them. Translation. A woman, a modern feminist woman, is not going to come at a man of good character that got his head on straight, that has things going for himself, like she would a Pookie and Ray Ray. A woman that calls herself a good woman, even though she's a modern woman, but any woman that calls herself a good woman, she would rather deal with the Pookie and Ray Ray and friend zone the good man. You know who I'm talking to. Paraphrasing, even if you shift it, let's shift it. Okay? A man ain't gonna come at a good woman of good character, of good substance, like he would a Makita and Shaquita. Because that woman of good character, that woman of good substance, she knows who she is. She operates differently. Say less.
then now the flip side of that, you know, they are.
Right. So let's dive into it. Who are they? When we speak of, because this is where it truly is, and when we talk about those the six corporations, when we go as deep as the Rothschilds, centralized banking, those the 13 families, the bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America. When we talk about the people who, if we were truly the children of Israel, and we're defining who the Jewish people are, because I feel like if we actually can understand that construct, then we can see that there is no hate involved. When we talk about the lies, the deceit, how the fake dollar controls all of this, then maybe we can get to the reason why they wanted to silence you, why they want to silence Minister Farrakhan, and they want to throw that we are having hate speech when it's never hate speech, when it's not.
Again, they don't like it when it's almost like most don't like it when they see black men huddled up. When you see black men huddled up, they're having conversations at the red table. They're having conversations in the locker room. They're having conversations on the sideline. They're having conversations in the end zone. They're having conversations at the water cooler. They're uplifting each other. They're motivating each other. They're sharing stories. They're doing whatever it is us men do to uplift one another. When you have a large number of black men huddled up, communicating with one another, sharing with one another, laughing, crying, worshiping, praying, you notice that scares them. That makes them feel uncomfortable. All right, too many of y'all huddled up, got to split it up. I remember back in Long Beach in the mall, whenever security saw a group of black men together, some black women together, they'll come. Everybody got to disperse. Everybody got to separate. What y'all got going on here? Not knowing the reason why we was all huddled up, we was rap battling. That's all we was doing was rap battling. I'll be busting my flows. I'll have somebody beatboxing, boom. And that's all we was doing was freestyling. There was no fighting going on. There was no arguing. There was no set tripping. But to see a group of blacks together, huddled up, no fight, no arguing, everyone laughing, everyone having fun, that made their ass real nervous.
You can't be anti-Semitic when when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that who they want to be. That's our birthright.
That's our birthright.
So if that's truly our birthright, there's no hate involved.
It's not.
How did this message get so misconstrued?
When we came back to claim it.
Right.
When we woke up and we came back to claim. If you steal my bicycle when we were 6 years old, and you riding around the hood with my bike,
right.
And now I'm 12, and I understand.
I want my bike back.
I want my bike back, man. Now you gonna kick up dust.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I'm brolic enough to get my bike back.
I know some techniques now. I want my bike back.
Right.
I'm coming to get my bike. You're gonna kick up dust. You might even have enough prowess and cockiness and wherewithal because you've been riding my bike around. You made connections now.
Right.
And convince other people that that's your bike.
Now you got a couple of bikes. You got a whole gang. You got a bike gang, and I'm over here walking.
Walking, right or wrong. So now when I go get my bike back, yeah, you done painted the bike. You done put some new wheels on it. It really don't even look like my bike.
It don't look like my bike no
bike.
more. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I'm waking up, and I'm like, bro, I need my bike back.
Right.
For real.
Right.
How do you know that's your bike? Simply because there's documents here. There's
paperwork
here. There's receipts here. You understand what I'm saying? They're showing and proving that that's my bike.
There's paperwork and receipts that let you know who you are and whose you are and your lineage and where you come from. When you read the Torah, some say Bible, we call it the Torah. parts of Africa is all over that Bible, the Torah. When Yahshua says, I called my people, who is he talking about? The Hebrew Jews. When he said, my son is amongst y'all, you go to Revelations. A complete description of Yahshua lets you know he black. Cannot be making this up. This is plain. Every other race has an identity, has somewhere to go. But when it comes to blacks, lost in the sauce. I'm of Caribbean descent. I have a place to go. Period. Whether it's the islands or the Caribbean, regardless. But what I'm saying is, or better yet, highlighting, when you look at the behaviors of a large number of black men and women that are lost in this world behave, it's disrespectful, wrong, evil, wicked. You say, where did it come from? When you go through your life not knowing who you are, trying to find yourself, that's a cold drink. Versus an individual that found themselves. Meaning black men and black woman. So when that black man and that black woman find themselves and they know who they are and whose they are, and they understand the truth, the way they treat each other, it's going to be pure love and pure respect.
And I'm here to claim it, man.
Right.
You have to give it back. So when you start hearing songs like Michael Jackson, hike me, kite me, and blah 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 blah.
Right.
Nah, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
When you
That's
hear
hate speech.
Puffy talking about getting paid or getting like the Hebrew.
Right.
You
They
understand?
want to mute the
They
Hebrew.
want to mute that.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Even
saying?
though we are the true Hebrews.
Exactly. So we can't even tell the truth now.
Right.
Not on record, not on television shows, not on YouTube.
Right. And what is and again, because and you know, I talk to my brother Risa Islam about this all the time, about certain things to where it's just a lack of understanding.
That's what it is.
Because we're not saying anything hateful, and that's the thing when they want to put that on the minister Farrakhan was saying when even the term white devils or just devils in general.
Right.
But when he was really speaking about the people who devalue our communities and themselves, and that's really where the word devil comes from, and how he's speaking it. But they want to take the sound bites and say this is anti-Semitic, and so how does that occur, and why does that occur? Is that great? Is that spiritual warfare, or is that just truly just us just silencing each other?
That's the psychological, covert, meaning hidden war on the higher infinite power healing our people.
Say that again. Hip hop is
higher infinite power healing our people.
people.
The higher infinite power healing our people.
It's
well, if
hip-hop.
it's higher, then it's gonna vibrate
On that
at the
frequency.
higher chakra.
Yeah.
And we gonna connect. Sometimes, you know, you see your homeboy, you up in the club, the music loud, y'all can't talk. You like, you know.
Yeah.
Or
when it's about to go down, the energy, you know.
Exactly.
All right.
Right. So if
It's body language, facial micros, understanding your brother. Same thing with understanding your sister. Is a way you move. It's certain ways you interact. But again, most have a problem when you share the truth, because it exposes them on so many levels. certain individuals do not like to get exposed. You see? And this is a very, very hard topic to understand. You see? You cannot be breathing in this world and not know who you are and where you come from. You cannot. And there is a lack of understanding, overstanding, a lack of communication, a lack of sharing.
It's infinite, and it's the power that's in us because of who we are as a people. Elijah Muhammad said we're direct descendants from God himself. When that hit me, I'm like, I got relatives, but I got the big relative. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm a descendant, maybe from this tribe, and that tribe, because I look a little Ethiopian or Eritrean or Somalian.
Right.
But I'm saying I'm connected to the source.
Right.
But because I'm connected to the source, we have a higher, infinite power.
Right.
But we can take this power now to heal our people.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? And then delivering it that way, like the COINTELPRO, like those black organizations where they saw the Messiah coming up in the ranks, they says, no, we have to stop that.
J. Edgar Hoover said the most dangerous thing in America is the Negro, and,
That's right.
and when he bringing us together. So I want to touch on something too,
And that's why I said that black is the most dominant race on the planet. When you get some black men and black women standing together, oh my God, and moving in righteous, moving in truth, moving in power, growing in numbers, it get no better than that. Growing in love, I'm talking about the households where the family structure of the black family was strong with a capital S. You feel me? You didn't have all this modern bullshit rigmarole that you have now. No, the family structure was solid. Wife didn't care how much her man made because she made something too. They both came to the table with something. Man, when you talk about the dynamics of the black family and how they held each other down, how the man protected his home and he loved his family. The wife protected her husband and she loved her family. Yeah, life gonna happen sometimes, but we're gonna thug it out together. That's a strong unit. That is what the other side fears most, is that. So that's why they create so much division. We're gonna have so many black women going against black men, it's gonna be pathetic. To the point where black men ain't gonna wanna deal with black women no more. Look what you have. If y'all haven't already, cop William Cooper's book, Behold the Pale the White Horse. Read that book. Everything that is happening now, he written in that book. So we right on time with a lot of things taking place. Or go on YouTube, cop the audio version of it, listen to it. I guarantee you it's gonna blow your mind.
where we have this problem within our community, and then obviously even beyond, the term God and defining ourselves as gods. Why is that such a problem, and why is that so taboo in our community? Because I know you do this as well. You speak about it in your books.
Right.
And even going back to the 5%ers, the gods and the earths back then, why is that such a problem? Even all the way to brothers like Kanye, where, you know, even if his messaging can get misconstrued at times, but he was even professing, I'm a God, and our egos get to that point like, you ain't no God, I ain't no.
Don't sleep on Kanye, because Kanye was telling truth. It ain't my fault most of y'all wasn't taking him seriously. Kanye was speaking truth. That's why they was trying their best to silence him. Kanye West ain't stupid. He's very knowledgeable. Don't sweat the technique.
No God, but ultimately, how do you define yourself as a God? And then why is that a problem?
I think the whole idea of having to define myself as a God is something that, you know, I don't necessarily want to wear on a t-shirt or a bumper sticker. I'd rather just be what the Creator created me to be. Now, let me ask just a couple of things so we can kind of contextualize this thing. You have an assignment, right?
Yep.
A life assignment.
Absolutely.
The Creator deposited in you everything that you need to be you, right?
Right.
You ever get to that point where you're not feeling kind of like you?
Right.
So now you got to be introduced back to who? You. All right? And you got to be reminded of your assignment on this planet.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Men and women, it's time for you to be reminded of who you are and your assignment while you are breathing on this earth. What is your assignment? You need to identify that and have a true understanding, overstanding of that, and embrace that. I'm talking to our Black women. Change your mindset. Okay, we get it. We understand. You followed something you had no business following. You had no business following feminism, the feminist movement. You had no business following that. That was not for you. We get that. Now you know better, you do better. You do need a man. You love your man. Love your husband. Meet your man where he stands. Meet him in the middle. Bring love, peace to the table. We don't need to hear about finances. We don't need to hear about how many degrees you got. We don't need to hear about your job. We don't need to hear about none of that. We need to hear love, peace, teamwork, joy, happiness. Will you treat me right? Will you love me? Do you know how to love me? Men, love your women. Love your wives. Be that father you know you can be to your children. Okay? Love her. Be willing to love. Be ready to love. Know how to love and care for her. Don't abuse her or mistreat her, but treat her right. See? It has nothing to do with being a simp. It has nothing to do with being a fool. But it has a lot to do with what is right. You are the prize. She is the prize. Two good people come together, they both the prize because they're good to each other. Embrace that, Black man, Black woman, embrace that. Get out of this modern mindset. You need to have one over him. He needs to have one over you. Get out of that. Y'all following so much feminism that a large number of y'all destroy your own marriage, destroy your own relationship, destroy your own household.
So if the Creator, God, deposited aspects of the Creator inside of you.
Right.
The scripture says you're all gods, but you're a child of the Most High God. Sooner or later, you're going to grow up.
Right.
and be gods.
Yeah.
With a small G.
Yeah.
We ain't claiming the big G, just the small G.
Yeah. We're
You
not
understand
saying
what
we're
I'm
the
saying?
creator.
Exactly.
Right.
Everything divine in nature is within inside of you.
Right.
This is why when we talk about the law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without, we can look at what we adorn the universe with, and it's right here.
It's all in us.
It's all in us. That's why we
what's
can
in the
duplicate it.
cosmos is inside us.
Exactly. And only thing we're saying is we're gods having a human experience called Griff and Nick.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Now, what your assignment is,
Right.
some people refer to that as different things. That's your life path.
Right.
That's what you've been assigned to do. But the thing is, have you accepted your assignment?
Right.
When you find people dealing with this whole psychology of self-hate, rejecting themselves and their divinity and who they are, see, when we hook up, there's certain things that you and I don't even really have to discuss because the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you, and we good.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
And see, that's divine.
Right.
But you see, we can go back and study Greeks, Romans, European history, and they've called even some of the days of the weekend the months.
Right.
They call those people gods.
Right.
You understand? But we don't have no problem with that.
Right.
But the people that gave birth to civilization, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yet we can't consider ourselves gods. I think there's a misnomer there, man, and it's
Yeah.
like it's almost like
They don't want us to know the truth.
back to that again. They don't want us to know who
We
we
are.
are.
But even I want to go.
In the moment we discover who we are, we done open up a can of worms. The moment we discover who we are and we share that with others that don't know quite yet who they are, it's a problem. Here come the labels. You're this, you're that. I remember having a conversation. Individual asked me my religion and say, you know, are you a Christian? Are you this? Hold on. Are you this or that? I'm not anything. I have a relationship. I have a spiritual relationship with my Father who sits in heaven, my Abba Father who sits in heaven, my Elohim. Well, I'm a proud Christian and I'm a, that's you. If that's you, that's you. And the individual was triggered because I didn't label myself as a Christian because he did. I didn't side with him on that because he did. It's like my brother. If that's how you choose to label yourself, so be it. I'll still treat you the same. I'm not going to treat you no different. I know who I am. I know the truth. I operate in truth. I study. I'm not going to shove it down your throat. But I know it's not about religion. It's about relationship. And we got to highlight that.
Go back to our community because, you know, forget they for a second.
Okay.
Why can't
we
accept that we
Because
are
we've
gods?
been brought down to the point where we look at one another as just mere niggas,
Right.
plain and serious. But Wesley Muhammad said it best: the nigga got to die. I'm just gonna say it straight: the nigga got to die. Wesley
Nigga got to
Muhammad
die.
put it out,
Yeah.
because if the nigga die, and then now we can have this rebirth of the God.
Now
The nigga got to die. The bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. That got to die. Disrespecting yourself. Degrading yourself has to die. So that there's room for a rebirth of a new you, a new black woman, a new black man. You can't mix old and new together.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second.
And please do. But we have to define what devil is. It's the adversary of God.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and there's attributes to the devil, but go ahead.
Yeah, so let me go to the opposing
with the little
side.
with the little d.
With the little d.
All right, go ahead.
So is that almost the same concept as eugenics, or even when we type into W.E.B. Du Bois's aspect, because he was someone that was saying the black man has to rise above, or I don't know if it's the same term as like we got the nigga got to die, but is it that concept of saying, yo, I want a purer black man, or the black man has to understand that he is a god, and the nigga has to die.
Well,
Isn't that same concept?
Kind of like the same thing, but let's clean it up just a little so the vast majority of our people can understand it. The Christians say what? You have to be born again.
Right.
So what happened the first time? Because God don't make mistakes. And all of them people running around in the Bible that never existed, never had Bibles. I don't think people
Say that
hear me,
again.
bro.
Say that again. Because really what the Bible truly is just God's experience or
Elohim will cause something to happen in your life that will make you look at things differently that you didn't look at before. That will put you in a position to add change into your life. Elohim will cause certain things to take place that will make you look at you and do a self-examination, and will back you up against the wall where you are faced with all your fears, your insecurities, and deal with you in such a way that by the time he's done, you will have a different outlook on life, love, relationships, and marriage.
or man's interpretation of his experience with his God. And stories and allegories.
And those allegories and stories and things were stolen from who we are as a people.
As a people.
Right. That's our history book,
Right.
so to speak.
Right.
Someone else kidnapped us, knocked us upside the head, put us to sleep, stole our birthright, and claiming that that's them.
Right. So the story of what you know as Moses is really Mesis in an Egyptian tale. The story of Noah is really the poem of the tale of Gilgamesh and all of these things.
Right.
These all come from the motherland. But going back to what you were saying in that sense of who we are and who we define.
So
yeah.
W.E.B. Du Bois came forth and said, the black man and woman in America is dealing with this double and dual consciousness.
Yes.
In a modern context, that's code switching. But right now, what is this dual consciousness that we're dealing with? Causing cognitive dissonance inside the spirit of the black man and woman. How do we have to wrestle with being Nick during the day and all the jobs and the opportunities that you have and the resources that you connected to, but then you got to go be dad now.
Right.
You got to go deal with Mariah. You
Right. Yeah.
Okay, because they don't know nothing about that. Okay, that's my daddy, but cool, but now.
Facts.
So the dual consciousness. What happens now when you operate in the world that's diametrically opposed to who and what you are as far as your existence is concerned? How do you operate in a world like that and then be you?
Right.
How do I be Professor Griff and still operate in the music in music industry by telling the truth about the music industry? That's kind of difficult, man. I can't go home and take off and put on Professor Griff to go on stage. Nah, bro, what you see is what you get, man.
Right. Facts.
I'm not Professor Griff on stage and then I go take it off or put on a costume.
But there's still a dichotomy, or there's still a duality in who you have
That
to
was
be.
the dual consciousness the double consciousness that W.E.B. Du Bois was talking about.
And that even goes back to maybe what was going on within Public Enemy. Because
Exactly.
you was always speaking your truth, but there's still, we got to know how to play. This is a game, and you're in it. So at some point, there's a line that's going to be drawn on that playground.
But you talking about the road manager for the group. I
Right.
dealt with these people firsthand. The Cohens and the Moskowitz and the
Professionally.
My first interaction with the other side was 2001. Supplemental draft, Atlanta Falcons. And the things that I saw on the inside and having my first encounter, it's like, Big Truck, we know who you are. We know where you came from. We know what you did. We know about the calling that you have on your life. Okay, but you've never seen me before. It don't matter. We've been watching you. Okay. And that was my introduction into that other side and seeing things and being around things and shaking hands and having meetings and so forth. But then get cut. Then I sat, revisit 05, Dallas Cowboys training camp. Revisit the same individuals. We talk. It's like clear as day. I begin to see more and more and more. Got deeper into it. Like, man, this is what people on the outside don't see. This is what those on the outside don't experience, don't hear about. Something was asked, said no. No bad blood, no angriness, no attitude. I knew at 5 o'clock in the morning what that knock on the door meant. And I was okay with that. You see? You don't ever know who's watching you. You don't never know what opportunities come. You never know what door's going to be closed versus the doors that are open onto you. Then I heard about the AFL, the Arena Football League, ESPN. See? It was fun. Less politics. Was able to ball out. Then the XFL was formed. You see? Hell yeah. Et cetera, et cetera. When you know what you know, you're going to move differently. Just because it looks good, you're not going to sell your soul to the things that look good. You see? Because there's consequences behind that. You got to pay that back. And when it's time to collect, the other side will collect. The other side don't care how big you are, how handsome you look, how much money you got. When the other side says it's time to pay up, it's time to pay up. Why put yourself in that position? But on the flip side, a large number of individuals place themselves in that position, and we see that within the sports industry and the entertainment industry.
And they respected that. That's why nobody crossed us like that.
Right.
We got respect from the industry from top to bottom.
Right.
From the average kid in the projects who we used to give the tickets to,
Right.
to executive people, man. I'm talking about booking agencies and promoters and
right. And you wasn't acting like a nigga.
I was
you
just being myself
professional.
and standing up and being a real black man, and they respected that.
Right. And with the respect, there was also some fear because they wanted you to still. There was a line that you weren't supposed to cross. Right. Correct.
Man, not only that, but they wanted to put the fear thing back on the table to quote unquote let me know there's a line that you didn't cross. I never disrespected any Jewish people.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
You know?
And I second that motion. I second that. I second that. When I started playing, professional ball across the globe, I never disrespected my Jewish brother. Never. Never. I can tell you, we trained together, we ate together, we went over to each other's homes, chilled with each other's families. Jewish people can eat, and they can party, and they love to cook, just like Caribbean. Man, that's my brother. I don't got no problem with him. I know he is. But see, when you're an athlete, and again, I can only speak from my experience. When you're an athlete and you're playing football, you're not looking at someone's religion. You're not looking at someone's culture. You're looking at me and you gonna take the field and we're gonna bless the field together. And when it's done, it's done. We're gonna leave it on the field. That's how we look at it. And when it came down to a color, yeah, green or money, because we like getting our money. There's been some times that payment hasn't been right, but that's another conversation. But there was no disrespect there. I let everybody know. The Jewish, that's my brother. We good. I come to his defense, he comes to my defense.
Understand what I'm saying?
Why? There's no need
There's
to.
no need to. I just told the truth and dealt with them on a professional level.
So ultimately, are we saying that there's a certain group of people that maybe they're scared of the truth?
I think there's Jewish people, but I just think there's a group of Jewish people inside of that. You can call them Zionists, you can call them whatever.
So let's dig into that for a second. Because that's where and even sometimes I find myself wanting to debate this idea, and it gets real wishy-washy and unclear for me when we give so much power to the theys.
Right.
When we talk, and then the theys then turn into the Illuminati, the Zionists, the Rothschilds, the
Freemasons,
Bilderberg
right.
group, the Freemasons.
Right.
And as a community, I feel, and I've done this myself, I want to blame others for the position that I'm currently in.
Right,
And that
right,
often
right,
becomes when you say the privilege.
I know some talk about Freemasons or have something, again, because my dad is a Freemason. He's just been inactive. I got nothing against Freemasons. I love them too. I played football with some of them too. We work out together. We share stories together. We share meals together. We take the field of battle together. Hate is such a nasty, disgusting word. to hate another individual because of their race, because of their religion, because of what they practice, what they stand for. I don't walk around with hate in my heart. I don't walk around hating individuals. But I do have a little bit of hate. I hate when my money ain't right. When you know my money should be right, so we need to make it right. Or use the term concern. But to have hate over an individual, a human being, nah, that's not cool at all.
White girlfriend comes into the room and or the apologists or these people come in and say, why aren't you guys over slavery already? Or why are you always complaining? And why don't you do for yourself or pull yourself up by your own bootstraps? And my people were also oppressed. We hear all of this stuff all the time, which a lot of times I really can't debate what they're saying, because some of what they're saying, there's some truth in it, because we're often blaming and saying the theys. But I would love to dive in real quick, just for the people that are listening and watching, even specifically the Illuminati. Right. When we say, like, to me, I say fuck the Illuminati. I say it with a heart so much so, like, man, I don't give a fuck about the Illuminati, because one, that's Roman Catholicism, which I don't subscribe to. I don't care about this illuminated group of scientists that they thought they really they had some information and they were illuminated. I feel like, and I've heard you say this, and I think I wrote down your quoted that we are the illuminated ones.
Right.
So when this whole Illuminati that we hear about, I say fuck them. And I don't care about, because that's make-believe. When they want to say Jay-Z's an Illuminati, and this boogeyman concept, and all the people wanted to say I was in the Illuminati. I ain't no fucking Illuminati. I was like, black people don't even know how to spell Illuminati. Like, I done been to Jay-Z's house. Ain't no rituals going on over there. You know, like, so when I say that, why, as our community, why when we get in the conscious community, why when we get on YouTube, we see all this shit of, oh, they done sold their soul to the devil, or, oh, they throwing up signs. Like, I don't, fuck that shit. Like, but I do subscribe to numerology. I do understand symbolism. I do understand that there's spiritual warfare going on. But I, as someone who came from the projects.
Let me highlight that. When it comes to the symbolic symbols of things that individuals partake in and use and put up and represent, they're advertising for something. Who are they advertising for? You see? So when we talk about the pyramid, hand over the left eye, when we talk about certain things, who are they advertising for? And why are they doing it?
Somebody who still got cousins dying in shootings, who still be in these prison systems weekly. I'm not gonna put a they on or say that someone else when I know I'm God. When I know my power, I don't give a fuck about what they got or their story when I know they want what I got. Exactly. So why is it that we tend to give them so much power? And when did that come? And like, it has to be before slavery. It has to be before colonization, because even I've been to the motherland. They're divided. Now, of course, colonization and the Europeans came in and kind of set some of that up. Right. But in tribalism, there had to be a hierarchy. There had to be a king and a monarch. And if I want to say I come from a king, if I want to say I am a god, I have to really embrace that and can't say someone else overpowers me.
Right. Well, I think we need to understand the sacred sciences that you alluded to, that we had, that you know that we have.
Right.
There are some people that came in, sat at the feet of our ancestors and our people, learned and took that sacred knowledge.
Thutmose and all.
Exactly. And then, second time, coming back to the continent, plan to destroy and take everything.
We know the Europeans came in and raped and pillaged.
Exactly.
We know that.
thus seeing how we operate and how we move and the deeper sciences that we know. For example, the Dogon. The name of my company is Serious Minds.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I talk about this, I'm talking about the Star Series.
Right.
How did the Dogon know that was out there? Unless we mapped that out. Unless we came from that place and brought that.
Beautifully designed.
Okay, exactly. So they came and figured these things out among us, and they crafted this society. And listen, let's just get something really, really straight. We are the first Freemasons.
Yes.
We are the illuminated ones.
Yes.
We are the first ones to establish secret societies.
Yes.
That's us as a people. They took all of that from us and set that up to rule what we call this present system that we live in right now.
Right.
And if you don't understand that, then you are lost. There's a large number of individuals that are lost because of that right there. And this is why it is so important to study. It is so important to know your history. It is so important to know where you come from. It is so important to have an understanding and overstanding of your lineage. Because if you do that, the way you treat each other will be so much different, be so much better. The way black men would treat black men would be different and better. The way black men would treat black women would be different and better. The way black women would treat black women would be different and so much better. The way black women will treat black men would be different and so much better.
They consider themselves illuminated ones among them.
Of them.
Because they put us to sleep.
Right.
So now
How did they do that though?
If we were so powerful, how did
and
they
this is a
come
question
in and do that?
I hear a lot, man. They put us to sleep by taking the very thing away from us that we depended on the most. If I said to you, what is the most important thing that keeps your life, that wakes you up in the morning and keeps you moving and motivated during the course of the day? Whatever that thing is,
Right.
if I took that from you, would you be able to exist?
Nah, you took
right?
my essence away.
I took your essence away, and then what if I fed you the wrong food?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
now you're not getting the nutrients.
Right.
The essence of you was taken away from you. All right. And then I moved you from one location to the other and mixed you up with some people that you can't even really communicate with. Right. And I did this over a period of time in different places on the continent, because we haven't talked about brothers and sisters in Brazil yet.
Right.
In the
That's
Black
where-
African
that's
diaspora.
where the most Africans went to.
Exactly.
To South America.
But the job that they did on us here, they actually put us sound asleep. When's the
Right.
last time you ever got that sound sleep?
that deep sleep.
You not only need an alarm clock to wake you up, but somebody to come and shake you.
Shake you for a minute.
And then even when you get up, you're kind of groggy.
Yeah, right.
So you have to be brought back. And then when you woke, as they say now, the essence that they stole from you has to be put back in you.
And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to come back and I'm going to go live again for part 2. And I'm sharing this for a reason. You know, it's amazing when you get good information and you share that good information and you have a conversation at the table with it. And minds are enlightened. Others are amazed. I want to turn on that light switch that make you look at things differently. But I will inform each and every one of y'all before I go live again this evening for part 2, okay, of Mind Conversation. It's your boy Big Truck. We gone.